Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is game two between neolution.MRR and bRix from Malaysia. So yes, neolution.MRR from Thailand. They did take away game one very fashionably, and I'm just looking at this game two really excited because bRix, they definitely don't want to lose this whole series, being the first game into cycle three. A lot of stress is going to be on both teams. I'm Babel, and my co-caster is Lark.
Yep, what's up guys? Yeah, like you nicely mentioned, hopefully bRix will be able to take this game home because they really don't want to lose out on like the first day of cycle number 3. I mean, like bRix is one of the teams that I noticed like they were, I think if I'm not mistaken, they got into the first cycle 1 qualifiers, if I'm correct. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. But unfortunately, they weren't able to win that, and then cycle 2 they couldn't go in because MR stole the spot away from them. So it's like it's really weird coming up for bRix. I just really hope for their sake that they're able to make playoffs this time around and hopefully at least win it. I mean, sure they're gonna have a lot of problems coming into like a lot of these other stronger teams, especially Orange Esports, who's looking pretty damn strong from the past performances. They really want to make sure that they win every single game that they can, even if they like say lose a game like in game one where you saw MR winning against bRix. They should at least try to draw out, and I really hope for their sake that they buck up their game and improve over time, because I see the potential with bRix. It's just that it just comes down to like the micro perspective in terms of like their play styles and the way that they mesh together as a team.
Yep. So that's really interesting. bRix is well, I would say that they have came a long way, and they are very much they very much deserve to be here in the G League, the very top league of the Southeast Asia region. The problem really is that they just somehow don't have a strategy or a game that they could possibly take it to the opponent and force them to play on their own playing field, something that they should be comfortable with. It's like they don't have a particular renowned kill. If you look at ninjas, you know that they have got perfect stealth ability and stuff like that. If you look at boxers, you know that they punch really tough. You know, those are really bad analogies, but what I'm trying to say is that they don't have strengths that are working their way. If you read into bRix, you know very well that they have got the potential. One of their renowned gameplay that I remember all the way back in the MSHC qualifier was when they played a very interesting, not qualifier, sorry, called Rally. They play a very interesting Witch Slayer. So I am again hoping to see that they play that kind of gameplay, something that could knock the opponents off their feet. But that's it, game 2 well underway here. We're just looking at Fate, Tempest, Lodestone, Ophelia, nicely banned away. So all of those heroes are going to be gone, but no Tempest means that Keeper is available, and Keeper is going to be snap pick from MR having the first pick. They also follow it up nicely with a Wretched Hag. So that's great lockdown, great pep blast, a lot of insane damage, great turnaround potential, and on bRix side, opting for the Engineer as well as the MOA. Dual gun from Wild West again, I do think that they are very
Yeah.
much favored in this region still.
I don't know. I like bRix again. In terms of like the first banning stage already, right off the bat, they should have just banned out the what was it, the Keeper of the Forest. Because if they were gonna ban out Tempest, then they should have just banned out Keeper of the Forest instead. Because I don't think MRR really runs Ophelia. I don't think I've really seen them actually play it, so they shouldn't be too afraid of it. I mean, sure, it could be one of those niche picks, or it could be something that they just pop out of their bag of tricks once in a while. But really, I don't see MR really using the Ophelia that great. So, I mean, I would have much preferred if they banned out the Keeper, because Keeper was a big part of their success as well in the previous game. He was able to pick up on so much farm, get the early Astrolabe, get good team fights, get good roots off whenever he had the chance. And this time around, they're gonna give that same potential again to MRR. And on top of that, they have Hag as well as Kraken. So there is so much burst potential there. In terms of like magical DPS right there with Kraken's ultimate as well as the Bat Blast on top of it. So they have sizable amount of team fight over there. But I mean, Hellborn, at least they do kind of in response they do pick up like the Engineer, Master of Arms, and Bubbles. The Engineer, like I've said time and time again, is just so damn strong. His ultimate is like kind of like a Tempest ultimate. He can turn games around, whether or not it's a good placement or not. But yeah, I mean, it's really gonna ultimately come down to how they execute it. I'm very curious to see what their mid hero is going to be, because MOR definitely they are showing that it's gonna be a Kraken already, and I think that there are a lot of counters that they can pick towards this Kraken to really make it viable for bRix to win it in the mid lane. If they really wanted to, they can actually go for like Pebbles didn't work for them in the previous game, and I think it was just purely because of the execution. I don't think it's about the problem with the hero because Pebbles is still damn strong, especially seeing as to how now it's against the hack and it's much more easier to gank in my opinion. Once he picks up the portal key, it's so susceptible to ganks with a portal key Pebble. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. We're just looking at the last pickup there by Bubbles. On the bricks, it's really nice to see that they've got a lot of lockdown there. Engineer, I definitely love that hero. In fact, it is my personal favorite hero. Like, I still recall that I was very scorned when they removed the turret buff there, but never mind. So we're just looking at a Luna being picked up by Team MRR, and also in the band heroes. Have we covered the band heroes?
Nope, we haven't.
Okay, so in the band heroes, we've got Sandwave, Draconis, Pharaoh, Moon Queen, Prisoner 945, that has been nerfed recently, as well as Torturer. Now, Torturer, Moon Queen, Draconis being banned means that Team bRix, they don't want to have something that's too pressurizing in terms of laning, as well as MR banning out a lot of carry there. Sandwave definitely, Pharaoh, a lot of engagement potential, but having no Pharaoh, it's pretty interesting to see why they ban out the Pharaoh. And I'm looking at the Shadow pick here, Soul Stealer. If it really is Soul Stealer, it will make a lot of sense to have the Pharaoh being banned out, because Pharaoh would have been able to cancel his ulti from all the way in a very far region. But that being said, if it really is going to be Soul Stealer, it would be a really interesting game, and I'm hoping for that. And Moonra being picked up by bRix. What's happening here?
Yeah, I mean, it's it's funny to see Amon-Ra being picked up by bRix because they don't usually pick it up, and in fact MR is the one that usually picks it up. But if MR were to pick it up, it would have to be played by Bomb Rush Reply, and we all know that Bomb Rush Reply is kind of like transitioned to the support role, kind of like now. I'm a little bit sad that it's not gonna be a Soul Stealer pick. It's actually gonna be a Scout. That's like no fun in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, just want to go safe. They do have the Scout at least, so that will offer a lot more in team fights as well. With the silence, is just very, very, very good. They pick out a Luna as well. I'm actually surprised that uh, well, I think it's more like they pick up the Luna more as a fact to prevent Hellburn from picking that up because they don't want to have much more creep clearing potential coming up from the Hellburn team right there. Like Hellburn's team lineup right now is a little bit iffy in my opinion. Yes, they have magical and physical DPS, which is really really good, and like usually a team that is built around sustainable DPS, both
Hmm.
magical and physical, on top of burst is really good, and as well as survivability. So, I mean, this team they kind of have what they really need to, but in terms of team fights, it could be a little bit iffy.
Yeah.
I can see lockdown from bubbles on top of the Ra to be very very helpful, as well as engineer ultimate. Uh, but yeah, I mean, it's really gonna come down to how it's gonna be executed. If Hellburn plays this really really well, they will have the upper hand because a corrupted disciple that saps all your damage is just so damn disgustingly overpowered, in my opinion. Like it just does so much damage. So if Bubble lands a really really good kelp field, it's gonna be damn huge.
It is. It would be really interesting to see that. That being said, we are just looking at this game that's well underway here, and yep, it seems like we're having a little bit of trouble. They are looking for remake potential. It's been called out. It's possibly gonna happen, and yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Game two. Quick little remake here. But looking at the draft there, I feel that there is pretty decent lockdown coming from Team bRix, but you don't have something that's really overwhelming in terms of AoE damage. You have got that burst coming up from the Ra, but you don't have something that is, just really devastating, like a bad blast, something that could turn around matches or that could seal the deal. You don't have those. You have got Corrupted Disciple as a carry, something that would be pretty viable in the early stages of this game, but going into the later stages of this game against a hack, it would be pretty scary. Also, provided with the fact that we've seen MR succeed on this Kraken before, I'm just a little confused right now as to see whether bRix can actually put forth such a pretty questionable gameplay.
Yep. And I think that well actually okay, now that I think about it more, Hellburn's team it can be pretty strong, especially if they get the early snowball advantage against the Legion team, because they have Ra and Corrupted Disciple. They both have their own pros and cons, and I think if they mesh together really really well, it's gonna be damn devastating. Like again, I mentioned burst potential coming out from the magical damage from Ra, on top of like the physical DPS coming out from Corrupted is gonna be really really strong, and to have a bubbles lockdown on top of it all, is just really really good. The main thing that is gonna kind of like ruin their wombo combo is if keeper gets a good keeper's root off, because that just stops any more aggression coming out from the Hellborn team. So like that's one of the major concerns. If they did it, if they banned out that keeper in the earlier stages, I think they would have had a better chance at it, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that. That being said, well, game two, still waiting for the invite right now. And on Team MRR side, I can only say that a lot of lockdown potential. They got a keeper, they got a hack, got Kraken, and with the hack just sealing the deal there, it's just very scary to see that. Um, I'm just still wondering if bRix can really put forth that kind of interesting gameplay that I expect them to, because we are just seeing the dual guns from Wild West, Engineer as well as the MOA. We also know that there's a Corrupted Disciple, Bubbles as well as a Moonra, but lacking in terms of AoE damage is pretty severe coming from bRix. So that is pretty scary to see.
Yeah, and especially since the change to Ra, he got nerfed on a lot of things, like both the ignite as well as the path of destruction. But I still feel like he will do a lot of damage. I don't necessarily see how the change to the attack speed would have mattered as much, since how usually Ra back then would be more or less played in terms of like the damage output rather than his auto attack. So not the biggest of changes. I mean, yes, it does affect somehow still, because now you no longer get the added speed, well, or attack buff coming out from the ashes to ashes. So it does kind of cut his carry potential by a bit, but they have the corrupted disciple who is there to, they're there, the entire Hellborn team is there to just rely upon the corrupted disciple. So I just think that uh they have a decent lineup coming out from Hellborn's team, and I think they are pretty good, pretty nicely in a good spot in my opinion. So it shouldn't be much of a problem for them.
Yeah, it's well, I just hope that really bRix can make something happen in this game. But looking at the lineup, do you find them to be pretty questionable?
uh I mean, it just really comes down to execution. Both teams have very decent team fight heroes. The main saving grace for Legion team is the fact that they have the Keeper of the Forest. It's just so damn strong against the Hellborn's team. But if you look at the Hellborn team, if they are able to burst down the
Oh, they made the
uh
wrong move, but that's okay.
yeah, if they were able to, if they're able to burst down the Keeper in the early stages, him or even like the Wretched Hag, like either two of those heroes, that would be so damn huge, because I think that if one of those heroes goes down, they miss a lot of burst potential. Like they're like the main components in the team, in my opinion. They're like the main dual core right there. So it's really ultimately going to come down how the game is going to be executed, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's interesting. And well, they do have the Luna also coming from MR, and that's gonna put forward a lot of anti as well as push potential. But as what we have mentioned before in this game, it really is going to be boiling down into execution. And I hope that bRix, whatever lineup they're trying to run out right now, would have a lot of ganking potential going up against a really devastating AoE potential coming from MRR. They need to avoid team fights, as well as the fact that they need to make sure that a duo push is going to be happening somewhere. Or even if they take a team fight, they need to be really careful of the hack. But they also have got a Skull MR, which I conveniently forgot, by the way. So Scout is very devastating to deal with in the late game. Against a CD, Scout is definitely going to have the upper hand. And Hack also would have a lot of magical damage against Corrupted Disciple. So this is why I say that I'm genuinely worried for bRix right now. But it is again going to boil down to execution, man. Anything can happen in this game.
Yeah, I mean, really anything can happen, and it knowing MRR, they have very strong laning play styles, and like we saw in the first game, it was mainly because of how they laned it and how they played it really, really nicely that they were able to, get the early game advantage and snowball very, very fast in that previous game. So it's gonna come back down to the same thing again here in game number two of MR versus bRix. So yeah,
Yep, it is. And don't worry about the trees. I'm going to have them, yep, taken care of very quickly. Yeah, so that's it. MRR, sorry, on Legion team having one game. The first game nicely taken care of. We're just looking at game 2 here. So Legion team, you have neolution.MRR all the way from Thailand, and specifically Brahma Shapal going to be a Luna. We also got Color X onto the keeper. Kraken being played by Chita1X. Hack being played by O7T V1. Just gonna call him O7T. DQ gonna be playing as the carry scout. And on help on team is a Hope in the lands of Malaysia. Shitbrick's gonna be there, and Empty Chin gonna be captain SOS Drafter. He is gonna be your Amunra. We have got Pendex Stai, and he is gonna be your engineer. We do have Izuzana playing as the carry corrupted disciple. We have got Softer playing as the MOA. Last but not least, new HoN gonna be new to HoN and playing as the Bubbles.
Yep, and right off the bat, you look at the Hellborn team. They learned their lesson. They go right into the Legion, and it looks like they want to ward up, but are they gonna be able to? Yeah, they should be able to. Engineer has a couple of wards already. You look at that.
Yeah.
Ra is already gonna go against Scout right here, but I think this.
This
But
is
here's
broken.
yeah, here's the thing though. Like Scout can actually easily deward the wards coming out from Hellborn. So if he was able to spot that out very nicely, then he should know that yeah, there is gonna be a ward over there and whatnot. So
I mean, this will be pretty obvious here. This Kiak on the ward of sight there. But that being said, it is basically the fact that they know there's a ward of sight behind there in that level 5 group camp. But it's basically, considering the fact that they put all 5 manpower here into the Legion jungle, they only place 1 ward. So it's pretty mind-blowing coming from bRix. But that's it, they do have a trial lane down south. It's going to be the dual guns from Always, MOA as well as Engineer, plus that Amunra. It's pretty nice to see. Middle lane's going to be solo Bubbles, and he's not going to have a good time just barely 1 minute into this game, taking more than 50% damage there. Bubbles not having the best of moments. Meanwhile, top lane Hack is going to go ahead against that Corrupted Disciple. That obviously is going to have a slight advantage in the early game.
yep. Oh, you see a bottom lane already. A harass is gonna be placed onto Scout. I think Scout is gonna have a really tough time against this lane. But if he survives at least to level 3, then that means the lane is already lost because, like, Amun-Ra, Engineer, Massive Arms, all heroes really need levels to be useful in this game. Engineer needs that level, very quick level 6, Massive Arms as well.
Nice tag, nice stun please. Yes, it's gonna land. Where's the Amun-Ra? He's not doing anything, and he's gonna use the skill there, the Powerful Destruction. It's not gonna be enough. DQ takes a lot of damage, in fact, all the way down to just 20%. He is forced to pull back there, but that being said, he does only have got 2 more Blightstones left in the bank, and that's at most gonna give him approximately 70% health points. So far in, I mean, it's about time that Softer just leaves this lane. There's nothing else he could possibly do against a Scout. And, I mean, it would have been so close if only the skills were slightly level, like maybe level 2 and stuff like that. But that didn't really happen there.
Yep, and not to mention the fact that Ra wasn't in the best placement for the Path of Destruction. That's one of the major problems about that hero. When it comes to like a trailing like this, like you usually always have to be further back. But when you show your positioning like that, it just goes to show that yeah, I'm gonna go in for follow-up stuns once the rest of my teammates get the stun in. So it's really difficult for them to pick up a kill onto Scout. You look at Scout already, man.
Top lane,
actually,
CD, a lot of trouble. Here comes the Luna, hasted at all. Look at that. Even Hack's gonna be able to just have a field day against Izuzana. Izuzana is gonna be bloodlusted here. There we go. It's gonna be good. He is gonna be able to go down really quickly. Meanwhile, MO against the Scout. Scout's gonna nicely try and stack the creep cam here just to make sure that he is going to be able to pull the camp that way and make sure that the creeps are denied and further punishing this trial lane. But that being said, he needs to make sure that there are at least 3 camps stacked. If not, the lane could be slightly pushed.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at middle lane, man. Bubbles against the Luna. Luna needs to be a little bit more careful because Bubbles can easily kill him, yeah. She's gonna back off right there. But yeah, I mean, bottom lane, who is it? Master of Arms did a good job of like trying to...
Nicely.
Oh, God.
Moonrock gonna go in, but there we go. He is gonna be invisible though. And yep, they're gonna place a Wall of Revelation. Look at aggression there. Let's go Scout. Looking around away. So close, but there is nothing. Not enough. The damage is 4. Why didn't the Moonrock just follow in there?
Yeah.
He would have been able to just kill him with the ashes to ashes, but it's not good enough at all. Now bRix may even lose the Wall of Revelation. That is just such a unfortunate turn of events for them. It would have been a possible kill.
Yeah, I mean, they should have just done that, and oh god, top lane again. Look at that, man. Corrupted Disciple he's doing a lot of work against the Wretched Hag by always constantly sapping, but at the same time, he's in a pickle himself, and that's mainly due to the fact that he lost the Bloodlust in the early stages of the game. Like, it's so important to not lose that when you're that early in the game. yeah, coming back to my point about the Ra and
And
the
look at
rest
the
of the
Moonra and
Twilight.
Bubbles here. They're just exercising, flexing, flexing. Luna just flexing, and Bubbles is like
Yeah,
sidestep, sidestep. You're never gonna hit me. But
exactly.
yeah, again,
I feel like the thing is like bottom lane should have just gone for Dust instead of like the Ward of Revelation if
tower's
they really
possibly
want to
gonna go
pick
down
up.
soon.
Yep.
Yep. And the Cat's gonna make sure that tower will not be denied. Oh wait, Ford's gonna be used here, and Scout still has got Vanish in 1 second. It's gonna go in for possible deny, and he gets denied. Scout actually winning that, but he will pay the heavy price of sacrificing his own life. But that's fine. That's a tower there. And that being said, Amunra standing at level 4, they somehow managed to win his lane against the Scout, against
Top
his
lane.
level 3 Scout. But that being said, top lane right now, Luna coming in here, and CD looking to back away, but Hack's gonna be able to just seal this deal, except that he doesn't have the mana. But look at the turnaround! The Electric Tide is gonna be able to burn down the Luna. Wow.
Oh god, what was Luna thinking? He's only level 2. There's really nothing he should be doing there at the top lane against Corrupted Disciple. Like he does, what, 200? No, not even. Yeah, 280 magic damage to a Luna who only has like what, 492 HP. So there's a little big misplay coming up by Luna. I'm actually surprised at the fact that he's only sitting at level 2. I'm surprised how badly he's doing, seeing as to how they kind of like dual lane the mid with Kraken and a Luna against the bubbles. So
Yeah, but
a little bit
Luna was
unfortunate.
rotating a little bit to the top lane, and that could have been a slight reason. Also, the fact that he was guarding the top lane most of this time, which means that most of the experience will go to Kraken, explaining why he's level 5. I get the level 3 Bubbles, and Bubbles is going to struggle, which is going to be pretty bad for bRix, unless, of course, Shiny Knightly Armor Softer comes to save the day. MOA, ditching
He
his
needs-
partner.
Yeah, he needs to be careful though because there is a keeper in the jungle. I don't think it was spotted. Oh man, this is gonna be very bad.
Oh god, Lancer stun, Bubbles misses the shell surf, time to run away, yes, but Kraken, reverse tsunami charge, not gonna be used on Softer. Looking for Bubbles, using the ulti, it's gonna be a done deal, there's one more splash, and it's gonna be not even used, in fact. The splash was on cooldown, but it is still very painful, last hit there by Kraken. So it's gonna be a double tap, mistakes on Softer part for sure, but Bubbles share half the blame as well.
Yeah, that was just like there's no reason to set up a gank on a level 6 Kraken and a Luna as well. Like, what are you really gonna do with your bubbles and Master of Arms combo? You can't burst down the Kraken.
Well, maybe they can if they have got extra help, but just the two of them is
Yeah.
grim, just grim.
Yeah, I mean, like even if they wanted to go for a Luna, I don't think that was possible because you have a Kraken just standing nearby. If they tried to collapse onto a Luna, there was a lot of things that Kraken could do. Could push them away. You could have just used the ulti, and worst case scenario, like right there, you saw both of them died. They traded for both their lives, and that was a big Kraken ultimate. I gotta say that was really well played by 321X. He's doing a
Wow.
really good job with Kraken.
That snipe from a Luna.
It's just so damn annoying.
Yeah, it's
So
annoying,
damn
and it hit both of them in the perfect angle also. But that being said, we're just looking at this game here. 6 minutes in, 3-2. Definitely MR having a slight advantage so far in, but I'm just genuinely concerned for Scout right now because, well, just look at MD Chin playing Amunra. They all know how devastating Amunra is in this game. They played Amunra before on Bomb Rusher Pole, and that worked out for Cycle 1, but Cycle 2 got cancelled and nicely taken care of. So in this game, they, of all teams, should know what is the best counter against Amunra. But right now, Amunra is having very good farm, standing at about, well, 395 GPM. That's a lot. And there we go. Like I mentioned, back up, middle lane. They're going to try and nicely take care of this Kraken, but Kraken takes flight in a separate direction. They are not going to be able to catch him in time, but top lane CD in a lot of trouble, tries to pot away, and he will be able to do so because there's no stun on Hag. And Luna as well as Keeper was just a mile away, so that's a complete waste of time on MRR's part. So this is the right time to push onto the middle lane, and no pot in from Team Legion just yet, so it could be uncontested, it could be contested, we don't know. What do you think, Lark? Maybe a trade of tower?
It's nah, they're not gonna trade. Like, I don't think they should trade right now. Like, if they are able to protect this tier 1, that's gonna be huge.
Heck comes down, level 7 Heck, he does have the ulti, perfect position, the flash in, bad blast, it's gonna wipe down Softer, and down go his partner also. That is also the engineer, by the way. Now Munra takes flight, but he is not gonna be able to run away. He does have the ulti, so he is gonna be safe, but we can't say so when he comes back. Yep, he's gonna be back, and it's gonna be a little bit of blocking action going on. Mura looking to run away, Bubbles going in, but will not commit to the kill. Kraken nicely evading, sidestepping everything else. And there we go, this is what I meant by having one nice lockdown and one great bad blast. You would just swipe them off the feet. Nice clean up there. It's really perfect to see. MR gameplay was very good in that sense. 2k advantage goal for them. Ding.
Yeah. That was really good for them. I'm actually surprised that the bad blast didn't hit all 4. It is really unfortunate because they kind of spread out onto 2 different sides. Still, a very, very, very good ultimate right there, and that's just one of the very scary combos that Legion team can just churn out. And then you saw the Keeper Root gonna be used at the end of it. I think the Keeper Root was not as necessary because yeah, he doesn't have the root now, and they're not gonna be able to deny this tower because of that. And I don't think they can really protect this. So they're actually gonna want
Here
to.
comes the hack. He doesn't have the ulti. Who's gonna be in the pot? It's gonna be Kraken. He also doesn't have the ulti. Only Scout has it. But there we go. We have the hack going there. What a perfect sacrifice just for the deny. Chido1X nailing the deny there. And it seems like the snipe on the Moonrise is not gonna be enough. But here comes Izuzana, the carry for Team bRix. He is gonna be the only beacon of hope for them. And he doesn't get anything done other than picking up the kill on the Luna. That's it. They nicely nailed down the middle lane tower, even though it got denied. It would unlock the entire Legion jungle for Team bRix right now. And Scout, meanwhile, he is actually just very much obsessed with farm. And we are looking at even knocking off the tier 1 bottom by himself with the help of one heavy ballista, one scout. It would be enough. Yes, it would be. But he should run right now because here comes MOA with Dust Revelation at that. It's gonna be popped really quickly. Yep, it is. One nice stun, but the silence, a clutch silence by DQ. Oh my god, look at that. The Fog Lightning's gonna miss, and they are gonna actually back off. What a clutch silence it is from Scout.
Yeah.
Fantastic gameplay.
Just very, very like Do I Kill You really knows how to play this hero, and I gotta say, the tri-lane is not paying off at all because not only did they not put more aggression to the tier 2 at the bottom lane, they gave so much space for Scott to recover. He's now level 7, he's sitting at about 260 gold per minute. And Scout is one of those heroes that once he reaches those later stages of the game, once he is able to pick up those items, it's gonna be so damn hard to deal with. And what are they really gonna do on Hellborn team? They don't have much carry potential. Yes, they got Corrupted Disciple, Ra, Master of Arms can always also transition more towards the carry if they really wanted to. But Legion team, they have so much team fight potential and carries.
Bubbles goes in, nice lockdown Kraken, but here comes the Scout, and he is gonna be nicely outnumbered here. He goes down quickly. Maybe CD trying to make something happen behind the trees there, below the cliff, popping his skill, but it's not gonna be enough though.
Yep, and then that just excels Scout even more. Like, everything is just going in favor of Legion team right now, and Hellborn is just again on the back foot like in the previous game, so it's just gonna be very, very difficult for them. And it's coming to a point where Ra, he's already level 8, still doesn't have the farm that he needs. He's sitting at 385 gold, 380 gold per minute, which isn't like very fast. And to be in a tri lane and not be able to pick up on some early farm and start roaming around picking up kills, it's just very, very devastating for a team like Hellborn right now.
Yep, and that's it. Right before this game began, we questioned really what can you do against the massive AoE that Team Legion has. It seems like they don't have something up their sleeve at all. They're gonna try and to nicely pop train this top lane here against this tier 1 tower, which is nicely defended by Kraken. I do believe the MRR, given the fact that they've defended both towers already, they would likely pop into this one also. So just wait to see if that actually is going to happen. Kraken would actually pop the ulti quickly. Yep, it's going to be a potting quickly, but we have a trade-off tower there. Actually, Riku being able to knock off that tower there. Also, Babael being used here, but the Moonra is going to be able to tank that up nicely. Keeper goes down. What a trade-off it is. We have got a Luna coming from the sidelines to nicely snipe down that CD, but no, a Moonra does have the second life. What a cheater it is, but yes, a Luna will pay the price, or will not in fact. But here comes Bubbles to seal the deal. Kraken by himself with the splash, overwhelming 200 damage. Is not gonna be enough by himself. He is still by himself, and what a tsunami charge it is, but will not get a kill there. Here comes the Scout. He may be able to do a one-man show here. 1 against 2, 1 against 3, maybe a 1 more. Maybe I want to Bubbles, maybe I want to cook him up really nicely. Going to nicely defend and cancel out his bottle charges. He does take up the hat trick, and in fact is not gonna be able to secure the kill on the engineer. He is still on the hunt. We got DQ with the hat trick. He is just really sick right now. Look at that.
Yeah, that was that was insane. Like bRix, they played that really well. I gotta say, in that previous team fight, that was just beautiful. But then it kind of looked worse because Scott was able to clear 3 of the heroes with like very with like no problems at all, like complete ease in killing all those heroes. Like, it was just really, really funny to see that happening, and that just goes back to the fact that the scout just got completely unaddressed after they pushed the tier 1 in and tried to push down tier 2 but completely failed. So I gotta say that MR, man, like they're not worried at all. Just trying to look at it from like a general perspective, because Scout is picking up on all the farm that he really needs. He just killed 3 heroes back there. He's sitting at 400 gold per minute already, so he's pretty much excelled the Amun Ra, and Ra hasn't gotten a new item just yet. I mean, after picking up the Helm of the Black Legion, he still doesn't have anything new. So he's not as tanky as you usually see back in the days when Braun Marshall would be playing him. But yeah, I mean, he's doing his best right now for his team, and nothing to take away from him right there. And Kraken, man, he's just a beast. Like, he was so manly in that
Yep,
previous
Scout
team.
looking to cook bubbles again.
Yeah, is he gonna? I don't think.
He's
Yeah,
just
okay.
talking. He should not commit to this because the partner there, MOA, is actually gonna reveal himself. Maybe there's one MOA softer. Softer. It's just gonna be so soft, like beef, for the scout. But
Yeah.
no,
Speaking of
he's
beef, I
just gonna
had-
walk away.
yeah.
But that's a really good call, because if he went in there, he would have definitely spotted out the extra Munra and would have not gotten the kill. Might have got himself killed instead. So that's it. 15 minutes in here, guys. 10-8 here. 3k gold deficit in favor of Team Legion here. So definitely, Hellborn team is slightly behind, but I wouldn't say that this game is done. I would say that whatever happened in their favor for Munra against Scout, it seems like Scout has caught back up. So they need to make sure that the same thing doesn't happen again. They did not calculate that Scout would be able to just go in there and nicely nail the hat trick. So that was very regrettable. And the worst part was that they wouldn't have anything left in their arsenal against the Scout in that situation. So right now, I hope that the same thing doesn't happen, and I hope that they somehow manage to ace this game. But like I mentioned before, they are still lacking in terms of having a clear, distinct strength against their enemies there. They do have triple stacked Ancients also. Kraken is gonna nicely help Scout with this one. But here comes the kill on the Luna. Luna, a lot of trouble. The Luna going down also. And Engineer gonna nicely go in there. Scout is gonna be able to scout him out with an electric eye also. He's gonna be able to make sure that they stand the ground here. Kraken is just waiting for something to happen. It's just screaming for him to release the Kraken. But he is not gonna do the Tsunami Charge going in, also trying to nail the kill on MOA, but he makes a grave mistake. Keeper pops out behind, and Bad Blast gonna be called out here. Engineer still stands somehow. Bubbles running in a separate direction, but he goes down. Scout nails the kill on the Engineer, and Bubbles in a little trouble. He is looking to fall back also, but he is not able to do so. Hag will pick that up the kill. Meanwhile, in his backup supply lines here, we do see a nice spot away by a Moonra, so it's gonna be just fine.
Yeah, and Corrupted Disciple did a good job of cleaning up on the Kraken. That was just really good job by him to at least pick up that kill for them. And I mean, Hellborn's just actually I feel like Hellborn has got a way better chance in this game, and just seeing how they kind of played it. But they need to make sure not to like give up way too many kills in engagements like that. And one of the biggest things to mention is the fact that Keeper of the Forest, he hasn't been in team fights just yet, and that's mainly because he hasn't picked up the Astrolabe in this game. So I mean, bRix did a pretty good job of kind of like slowing down the farm from Keeper of the Forest. If you notice, he wasn't able to really help out in team fights. He does finally pick it up right now, and in fact, he picks up Ghost Marches as well. So he wants the mobility. So I just wants to be that much more quicker in team fights, and the ability to just run away from the Corrupted Disciple. Like Corrupted Disciple, he is sitting with Ghost Marches himself. I would much rather prefer seeing him go for the Steam Boots, as that offers way much more with the ability to Tread Swap, and also the fact that he has the Energizer already, so he doesn't really need to worry about phasing through creeps. So yeah, I mean, this is really tough for what do you call this, for a Legion team currently. I mean, I wouldn't say tough, but it's kind of iffy right now, because Hellborn can actually take team fights, and they showed that time and time again in like the previous 2 team fights right there. Of course, the second one wasn't that much in their favor, and also that was because was Scout in the previous engagement? Do you remember? I don't think so. So yeah.
Yeah, it's it's pretty fun to see that. You were saying you don't remember what?
Was Scout in the previous engagement? I don't think he was.
No,
Right?
I don't
Oh, hold
think
on.
so, but meanwhile, the Engineer right now is just nicely cleaned up by Scout. Here comes a flying big octopus. It's gonna cook up the Bubbles fellow made from the ocean, but yep, it's gonna be nailed by Scout. Onslaught, double tap, whatever you call it, it's gonna be nicely cooked up by the Iron Chef, Scout DQ. So we're just looking at 14:10 here, and 18 minutes in. What did you forget, Lark? Previous
No.
engagement, Scout? I don't think so. No, he wasn't there.
Yeah. So there you go. Scout finally shows up. Rune Cleaver, able to clean shop, and that's just a big problem for Hellborn right now because Scout's got his farm. He can excel it even much more faster. Like Brand already on Wretched Hag. Kraken so damn tanky. He doesn't have a new item just yet, so a little bit unfortunate over there. Keeper of the Forest, of course, he still doesn't have his item himself just yet. When he was pretty slow in farming, I think he's gonna work towards rushing the. I want to say it's gonna be a Shaman, Barrier Idol, because there is decent amount of magical damage coming out from Hellborn team. They have the bubbles, Shell Surf on top of
Oh no.
the Ra as
Ward of
well.
Sight caught sight of the engineer, but he does have a reverse Ward of Sight himself. What a Ward of Sight inception here. But meanwhile, he is gonna take the fall though, and yep, Scout completely unregulated. He is just unregulated at all. By all counts, in fact, he is just biting on the bubbles and biting on everyone else that's straying from the team. And meanwhile, his team is just doing a little bit of top train right now, and even with the portal key, if I'm not wrong on... No, sorry, not portal key. That must have been my mistake. I must be dreaming. But yeah, even with Team Hellborn's MOA lashing out on Acid Bomb, it doesn't seem to be enough against this team here. They are just so adamant about pushing down the tier 2, which they eventually got, but they will not go for a tier 3. That's pretty interesting because they don't have... Wait, they have all the LT on off cooldown. So what's the biggest rationale there, Lark?
They just wanna, they don't wanna like take a team fight just yet and give the advantage to Hellborn, because Hellborn, we're talking about their base, and Hellborn, they have all the means to take a team fight as well. Shrunken Head's already completed on Corrupted Disciple. There is even an Axe of the Malphite and Ra, so if they try to take a team fight, they could have lost that, especially with the positioning, and they didn't have any wards surrounding that area, so that's one of the main reasons as to why they didn't try to go in. Look at the bottom lane.
They're gonna be able to spot this one out, and Luna takes the fall really quickly. There, one last hit. It is Kraken pops out. This splash is gonna be used here. An engineer going in, not gonna use the LT just yet. I wonder why. Yes, now he's gonna finally make up his mind, but he is gonna be able to just try and catch up on the Kraken. Kraken goes down, cooked up really nicely. Scout going to go down. That's the savage victory by Bad Blast going off in the face of Team bRix. bRix struggling to make something happen. Nails the kill on the Hag. What a turnaround, bRix, making sure that they can get it nicely done there. Even gonna pop the dust before he goes down. It is a team spirit MOA, making sure you guys better kill this keeper, man. You better get him. I dusted for you guys, but no keeper just walking away so quickly. And the dust gonna expire in just about 1 second. He is gonna be able to stay alive. Do we have a second dust? We don't have that. It's really regrettable, but that being said, great work coming from bRix. Really making that team fight in their favor was really exceptional there. They had a total of 4:2.
Yeah, I mean, that was just beautifully played, and like, this game is just really back and forth. You can't really tell how the team fight's going. Like, that was just really well played by them to get the better benefit of the doubt from that previous team fight, and that had mainly to do with the fact that I don't think Nation T was really communicating over there. Like, what was the Hag doing when he came in with a very, very late Bad Blast? He was just gonna ultimate defeat, and that's what he did. Like, Kurt the Disciple just threw up on Electric Tide, killed, finished off him and as well as Engineer. So I mean, like, he came in for no apparent reason, just to like feed them, which is kind of like a waste in my opinion. So it's just really funny to see how it's kind of going. But yeah.
Yep, it's definitely something that is pretty interesting to see, and I would like to say personally, bRix did very well in that previous engagement. It is something that I wouldn't expect coming from them, because the Bad Blast went off and they just didn't falter in that kind of situation. They was just completely focused. They focused fire down the Scout, also down the Hag. It's like within 3 seconds somehow things got turned around and Hag just took the fall. That being said, they showed that they are still pretty much in this game here. 14:18 doesn't mean a lot to them, but 8k gold deficit is something they need to overcome nonetheless. So,
yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, against a team that has got a lot of magical damage, they just need to make sure they've got Shrunken Head, which is so far very important on the CD, but isn't really showing on even the Bubbles or maybe someone else. But Bubbles in this game is really not living up to standards. New HoN here, he didn't have the best of games, I'll give you that. He did not have any farm, specifically in the middle lane, but 22 minutes in, he should at least have something of standard, maybe. Looking at about 1k gold, I'm assuming that if he doesn't want to go for something initiative-wise, he could actually opt for a Mighty Blade building into Shrunken Head. I don't know, what do you actually think about that?
About what, Scout?
About New HoN.
New HoN.
Bubbles, exactly. What kind of items do you think he should pick up right now?
He really needs that portal key still. I don't think he should work towards picking a Shrunken Head just yet. He needs to have that ability to be mobile. If not a portal key, even a what do you call it? A tablet of command would be pretty good as well. That would be a pretty good item for him. there's a lot of things that they need in order to really take a team fight. I mean that's for bubbles. I definitely feel like Corrupted Disciple needs to pick up a Geometer's Bane in case of Keeper of the Forest, in case he gets that early Restoration Stone which he is working towards. Ra is doing a really damn good job because he does have Behemoth's Heart right now. He's sitting at 460 gold per minute. He should also work towards a Shrunken Head to have that mobility in team fights because he really needs to make sure that he moves around against the Keeper route. And that will help out a lot. Scout is trying to build up a Shrunken Head of his own, and that's also very, very useful because he's dying in team fights because of the burst potential coming out from the Hellburn team. Like Corrupted Disciple is doing a lot of work, and if Corrupted Disciple tries to steal the Scout's damage, I'm not sure if activating the Shrunken Head cancels it. I know it goes through Shrunken Head, but I'm not sure if it will cancel it. So I'm not too sure about that, but still, it is going to be a very, very good item for Scout to avoid all the lockdown coming out from the Hellborn team. And I have to say that Master of Arms, he should have gone for an Astrolabe himself for like in the early
Yep.
game, because that would have helped out a lot for his team. Like they are going in without any kind of region right now.
Yep, that's it. We are seeing bRix for the first time, having all 5 members trying to push down a tier 2. And yes, tier 2 up north is going to be severely challenged. No portal, there's no pots coming in just yet. Pots going to be used, but it seems like no one's going to commit to this one just yet. And MOA going to try and pot away first. And they're all going to try and defend that bottom lane tier 2. Maybe it's severely challenged, but Fort's not used on team bRix. Nope, they're going to let it go. Meanwhile, Luna is going to be able to face off against the Corrupted Disciple, which seems like he is going to be able to just nicely eat her up. Yep.
Yeah, that's really like again, Aluna in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I gotta say, like Hellborn team, they came up on top of that because they got the kill on Luna as well. They were able to set up nice wards there over at the Legion side. They should definitely make use of that. Restoration Stone already finished on completed on Keeper of the Forest, so that's a very, very huge item for them. And if they are able to get a very, very good team fight, I think definitely Hellborn is gonna be on the back end of it, because they don't know that the Restoration Stone is finished on Keeper right now. Like he can double root and still win the game because they have the bad blast, and on top of that they have a lot of sustainable DPS from Scout, who does have the Shrunken Head finish. He's gonna kill the Engineer right here.
Yep, he is, and the Engineer is going to go down really quickly. Scout already has Shrunken Head, as nicely mentioned. Also, the fact that he does have the shiny Rune Cleaver. I do think that he is going to be able to offer something more damaging in his next item. Maybe even a Brutalizer to fight the Corrupted Disciple, which is
Yep.
going to be really ideal for him.
I also agree with the fact of like Brutalizer. Like a Brutalizer just excels even more for a Scout, because if you don't get disarmed, you get stunned, then yeah, it's just pretty much complete lockdown. You can't fight against him. And I always, time and time again, I always hate seeing the Dawnbringer on a Scout, because I just feel like it's not as necessary. It's such a waste of space in my opinion. Like there are a lot of other items you want to pick up if you really want that slow potential to not be kited. I say just go for a Frostwolf Skull, because that will be much more better, especially since Frostwolf Skull did kind of get a slight buff with the stats from the items that they gain. So, I mean, I would have much prefer to see them pick up a Frostwolf Skull, because you don't have to necessarily get 3 out of attacks in to really stack up the slow. You just automatically get that full like 25% slow.
Breaks out of sight, nicely spotting out Team
Oh,
Legion
yeah.
here. Here comes a Moonra, hot chasing fellow counterpart Aluna there, but Aluna will go invisible and Keeper will take flight. They do have the the interesting Baonai on Scout, by the way.
Yep, and that's a good item for him. Like if he's able to go around and just, you know, he shouldn't have any issue going into the enemy's space and just counter warding for the rest of his team, because there is no detection currently up from Hellburn except for Dust on Massive Arms, and it's not like Massive Arms is always going to be wherever the team is. So I mean, he's actually working towards getting a Shrunken Head of his own, so it seems like Master of Arms just wants to straight away transition to more of that secondary support, secondary carry role, and the semi-carry role, I mean, so yeah. Aluna right here is going to try to place a ward. Yep, he just places it right there. Bubbles, I think, did have vision of that, and Aluna's in a really bad spot. He needs to be careful himself, because if he gets caught out, that could be very, very bad for the team, but he's going to be fine. He's going to work towards finishing the Tablet of Command. He's not going to have that just yet. Kraken is just 200 gold shy from the what do you call it, the demonic breastplate. I think he just purchases it right there, so he shouldn't have any issues. But yeah, I mean, Ra has the Soul's Bulwark himself, so like both teams, they have a lot of decent items, but I still have to say that one of the biggest items is the fact that Keeper of the Forest has the Restoration Stone, and he's
Yo,
not
yeah.
stopping his farm. Like if he's able to pick up on a Culture Sheepstick next, that could be even much more devastating.
Yep, that being said, whether he is in Shrunken and Mood or not, Corrupted Disciple is still going to be affected by the root. So unless Corrupted Disciple completes his Geometer's Bane, I don't see how he's going to be able to just completely escape the mechanics of the root. But that being said, still, we're just looking at about 30 minutes into this game, close to, and we're just looking at 19 to 15. Somehow, MRR having a little bit of a trouble trying to end and nail the second game here against bRix. bRix definitely doing a really good job. As compared to the first game, they still at least have got all 3 tier 3s as well as Rex is still standing, so it could still be anyone's game. And that being said, 13,000 goal advantage for Team Legion. I'm just hoping that they make sure that they still maintain this lead. Definitely with Scout completing his next item, they should be looking at a push in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm really not sure what the next item Scout's gonna go for, because I'm not the one playing, but I think he's gonna aim for a Brutalizer. He does have 3.1k
Yep.
gold. He could be saving for buybacks as well, because he knows there's gonna be a team fight coming up soon, and like Hellborn team, I think they're gonna try to contest Conger, if I'm not mistaken. They could actually go for it if they really wanted to. Master of Arms actually buys a fortified razor, so I think he's kind of like telepathically listening to me. He's probably gonna go for the Astrolabe himself, which is really confusing seeing as to how he bought the Mighty Blade. He could have easily gotten that Astrolabe way before, in my opinion.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, he should at least have that soon. Um, Corrupted Disciple does complete the Geometer's Bane, and that's huge against the Keeper of the Forest and the double root. But you look at Scott, man, he's just doing the split push again, and yeah, sure, you can go ahead and take Kong, but we're gonna get your tower, we're gonna be able to ultimately take team fights once we wipe you out, so that's probably what the Legion team is going in for, and Hag already picks up his Shrunken Head, so he's gonna have that much more.
They're just so close right now. Fake Kraken's coming in favor of bRix, sorry, in the direction of bRix, and bRix looking around the way. We do have CD trying to make sure that he does have safe escape, but there's just so many Legion members in the direction. They do escape nonetheless. Moonra is going to be able to blow up. And meanwhile, Bubble's going to catch on Luna. This is going to happen here. Scout behind should not show himself, because if he does, it would be in a very bad shape for Team MR right now. Not like Luna does help a lot, but still having one more hero is better than not having one at all. So 31 minutes in, maybe bRix is gonna wait to just nicely run out the items before they go for the final push. They do need to take care of the Scout. That has been very irritating, trying to make sure that they have a very disadvantageous top lane position.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, like, it was a decent, well, okay, maybe not decent. Yeah, I still have to say, give the favor to Hellborn in the previous team fight, because they did take Kong as well as the kill on Aluna. If they didn't get the kill on Aluna, I think it would have kind of still been like half and half, like, because Scout was able to pick off the tier 2 at the top lane, and right now, if you look at it, Hellborn doesn't have any supporting outer towers, and Legion team, they still have the tier 2 at the bot and the mid, so you know they have that advantage over there going into this game, and I don't know, it just feels like this game is really close, even despite seeing the massive gold and EXP advantage over in Legion's favor. But yeah, again, it just comes down to the fact of the execution of this game, and the main heroes coming from Hellborn team, they have all their main items that they really need. Like Ra is really tanky with the heart, the Helm of the Black Legion. He's gonna go for the demonic breastplate soon enough. And Corrupted Disciple has all he needs to really take a team fight as well. Like he has the Shrunken Head and Geometer's Bane, so he doesn't need to worry so much. And he even has the Token of Life, so he can even, in fact, just ignore the 2 roots and just, or maybe if he really wants to, he can pop the Geometer's Bane first if to get around and continue lashing out some auto attacks. But yeah, he has the Token of Life, so he's fairly tanky in that regard. And Master of Arms, I think he is close soon to finishing his Astrolabe. It's a little bit late in this game, but still it does kind of help, especially with the lower HP targets like Engineer and...
Actually opting to pick off the kill there on the Engineer. What a nice silence from Bubbles, but still no backup there. And not gonna land a Calfield also. So yep, Hack is gonna be able to just go away scot-free. A little bit unfortunate it is for the very stat Engineer, but we're just looking at a Moonra against Scout, and yeah, I mean, there's no way a Scout could possibly kill Moonra with this item. He does have about 6k gold in the bank, close to it, but yeah, in fact, very close to it. But there is no way with just a Runic Cleaver as well as Shrunken Head he could kill the Moonra who already has got that Beam of Sat. So that being said, we're just still looking at about 33 minutes in to this game, and both teams taking it really passively slow right now. And it's time for a great, well, it's time for a great prediction. Who do you think is gonna win this game?
I think MRR might win this game because Keeper of the Forest has Portal Key and Restoration Stone. Scout has Shrunken Head, Rune Cleaver, 6k gold. Hag has BKB, Shrunken Head and Grip of Power. Demonic Breastplate on Kraken. Still not push book yet from Luna, but I mean, yeah, I mean, Legion team, they have a lot of huge items. Hellborn team, they only have huge items on 3 of the main, well, okay, not really 3, like 2 of the main heroes, which is the Corrupted Disciple and the Ra. So that's all they have going for them. Like the supporting cast members, they don't have much. Master of Arms at least does have the Astrolabe now. He's not gonna have the Shrunken Head soon. Bubbles only has a Portal Key, doesn't have any kind of team fight item besides that. So it's really, really difficult for Hellborn team to take a team fight if they wanted to, even despite having the token. This token is gonna be more or less used for farming purposes, in my opinion, seeing as to how the game is progressing right now, and the fact that they've lost complete vision and map control of their entire base right there. So they need to be very, very careful as to how they transition around the lanes. And Corrupted Disciple again, man, showing himself. He needs to be a little bit careful. They're actually gonna run into Keeper with Force here.
Yep, Keeper is going to be caught in a cold. There's also Water Revelation, so there is no backup from the rest of his team. MRR may actually lose the Keeper. He doesn't even use any root, so that's very wise on his part. If not, he would not have a double root to work with. But that being said, that Electric Eye irritating enough is going to be taken care of. And bRix is going to be looking for a potential push, maybe.
Yeah, they can't go for it, but the thing is, there is always buybacks on Keeper of the Forest, and I don't even think he needs to buy back because...
Oh, Engineer is going to be caught out here by himself, but there is no pot again, and yes, it's going to be enough. How silly it is, but in fact, wasting the Bad Blast, this could be the sign for a good push. But then again, all the way up north, we are looking at DQ Scout, trying the best possible, and in fact, a nice little pot's going to come in here. Kraken is going to be able to come in and nicely do it, but it's a Moonra, he's too tanky, they're going to bail out on that. Meanwhile, all that's left at the bottom lane is Uzana playing a CD plus Softer playing as MOA. That's just about that. He does not pick up a Brutalizer, but he picks up a Savage Main. So this Scout is going to be dealing a lot of damage. Close to about 300 damage. 320 plus damage per hit, discarding the extra 100 damage from the Savage Mains.
Yeah, I mean, he's hitting freaking damn hard right now. And he has free reign over his opponents because of that Shrunken Head. Plus the lockdown from Keeper of the Forest, Keeper Roots, which he has 2 of them, so that's like an 8-second lockdown. And yeah, I mean, like Scout's just disgustingly farmed. Like he's so far ahead. He is sitting at 528 gold per minute. Empty Chin isn't doing such a bad job himself. Like he's at 490, almost 500. Scout actually is gonna run into Engineer right there, and Engineer's probably gonna die again.
Yeah, he is, definitely. With the direction he's hitting right now, solo warding not going to help him at all. But Tara's going to be used here, and maybe he is going to be able to just somehow stay alive there. Despite the ulti from the from the Scout there. But nope, he is not going to pop the ulti. And Hack pays the heavy price. This could be signs for a good push. A great play coming up by Softer. Nailing the kill also with CD there. A little bit regretful that well, the carry didn't get a kill, but that's fine. And now we're looking at about 22 to 18. Finally, bRix gonna try and knock onto this tier 2 at the middle lane here. There's also a Kraken still standing, looming in the background. He does have the Bow Knight also. He does have his ulti, so release the Kraken could be used anytime. But that said, tier 2 fairly uncontested is possibly gonna go down.
Yeah, like in my opinion, that Wretched Hag suicide was totally not worth it, and that just translates to a tier 2 getting pushed down. And even if he didn't die right there, he popped Shrunken Head, doesn't have Bad Blast, wasn't gonna do much. So I guess it's kind of hurting him in the butt right now because the fact that he used the ultimate on that solo Engineer didn't have the Bad Blast up and off cooldown. So just really unfortunate for him. And I gotta say, like, bRix is really taking whatever signs of life they can to get back into this game. They're trying to pick up momentum through the mistakes from Legion team, and which is exactly what they need to do. I mean, like, and they're doing a good job of it because now you look at the rest of the supporting cast members, they're slowly starting to get farm and XP.
Kraken, Invisible Kraken, gonna spot out Engineer. Engineer has just been dying over and over again, but he is doing a really good job trying to ward out a completely black map otherwise for Team bRix. But
Yeah,
maybe he could have just done the warding a little bit better with the help of his teammates. In fact, not going solo warding would be a lot more effective in this game against people who just want to bite you in and eat you out. But that's it. We do have a Savage Mace. Yes, it is on CD, and that's very respectable. Also, completing that Demonic Breastplate is the Amunra. And that's it. We're just looking at about a possible top lane pusher, but still not going in. And maybe a good sound. The Kraken taking a lot of damage there. He is going to be able to pull away safely. But we're just staring about 39 minutes into this game. 23 is to 18. 17,000 gold deficit for Team Hellbot. They are just very far behind. And they need to make something work nonetheless.
oh, the top lane.
Yep, top lane. A catch is going to be happening here. And Munra is actually going to go there, but he does have the second life. And the rest of his teammate comes in. Here comes the bubbles. Munra comes back out, looking for a good kill. We do have Tsunami Charge going up. Bad Blast being used also. Munra goes down for a second time. And there goes the Engineer also. We're looking at Kraken taking flight against the CD. That is just completely disregarded here. Against the hack, he's just dealing so much damage. Let's just check in on CD damage, dealing about 300. It is gonna be a champion of New Wolf already. In fact, the blood buff being called out. Their double tap. Izuzana still somehow standing against the Scout. Scout forced to run away, but they don't have Bound Eye. So no vision over the Scout. Scout's gonna be able to just stay safe. And 39 minutes in, I can tell you, man, if this happens 2 more times, MRR is done.
There was a big misplay coming from MR. Like the placements of the roots were totally not as ideal as they really wanted to, and the fact that Scout wasn't in the team fight and trying to push down the split push the middle lane, like that wasn't really necessary. He just needed to be top and help the rest of his team, and I don't know, they're just giving chances. But
oh, 2 very squishy heroes down south here. Babael's in a lot of trouble, looking to just take flight in a separate direction. Will not get caught up by the rest of his Legion members. But yeah, we do have Scout still in pursuit, but will not be able to catch that. But they do spot the MOA, and maybe if they are able to pick up the MOA, this would have been a really easy push. But Scout is just really irritating, and they need a Baonai, bRix. Come on, you need a Baonai. You know that by now.
Yeah, they really need to buy the Baonai. Whoever buys it, like, who cares? I mean, bruh, just buy the damn Baonai. You really need that against the Scout. If not, he's gonna have free reign over you guys, and there's really nothing much that you can do. And yeah, coming back to my earlier point, ColorX did supreme job in that top lane. I mean, despite the fact of the roots, he survived just by an inch. Like he got dusted and portal keyed as soon as it got off cooldown and was able to escape the last final auto attack from, I think it was Massive Arms, who was gonna kill off the keeper if he didn't do that. So big props to him for pulling off those plays. Oh, I just saw a Whispering Helm just finished there by Scout, so he's gonna work to, in fact, even a Access to Malphite. Yeah, he's gonna go for Symbol of Rage, which is it's alright, seeing as how there's a lot of physical DPS coming from Corrupted Disciple, but he needs something to lock him down. And Savage Mace is more of like a mini stun rather than a 1.2 second stun on a I think it's 1.2 on a Brutalizer, so it's not that strong in terms of like locking him. It's here 1.4, yeah, 1.4. So would like to see something like a, I don't know, something that can help to lock down the Corrupted Disciple a lot much more better for himself and his team. And I think Wretched Hag is working towards that. He's sitting at 3.8k gold. He even has the post-haste completed. I'm not sure why he has a Homecoming Stone in his inventory. But yeah, he's pretty damn farmed as well.
Yep, and that's it. Scout is not going to pick up the Symbol of Rage, and just as I jinxed it, he is going to pick it up. And yeah, they are going to be looking for a extra oomph there in terms of the next team fight. But well, Scout really against the CD, I think that he is going to have slight advantage because of the extra damage, as in survivability that the Symbol of Rage does give him. But in general, he needs to be really careful in this kind of sense here. But he has been roaming across the map really freely, and until the point whereby Team bRix actually decides to pick up a Baonai, I don't see how exceptionally effective, they can be against his Scout. And they are always forced in a really defensive position right now. That said, I am still staring at a possibility of a support turn carry MOA. What do you think about that?
I think it's pretty viable, and he can definitely go that route, seeing as to how he has the Shrunken Head already. I gotta say, I saw a little small play there by Scout being made. Well, not small play, but a little play that he made, and I feel like his game sense is really there because he was able to quickly dispatch the ward that was placed there by from Hellborn, right next to the Hellborn's ancient camp, and yeah, he's doing really good job right now. The sheepstick is finally finished on Hag, so that's a huge item that they need to really take the team fight. But I think they're just gonna wait for Keeper of the Forest to finish the one of his own. Like, he is sitting at about what 5.2k gold, and he just needs, well, the 5.3k. So he just needs like another 300 more gold to really pick up the Kosher Sheepstick and be a force to be reckoned with. Because he is gonna have double sheep and double root if he really wants to.
Yep.
I don't think he's gonna. I think I think he's gonna have enough mana for that. Seeing as how the root is only 200 mana cost. That's 400 mana cost, and Restoration Stone is 300. Yeah, he's gonna have enough to get the double hex off on top of the root. So he's gonna be very damn scary.
Yep, and he needs to be addressed. But again, on Team Hellborn side, I mean, CD is dealing really decent amount of damage, about 300 plus, but he does still have got 1 or 2 item slots that are not filled up, and I would like to see him fill up those item slots as quickly as possible. That being said, he doesn't even have an attack modifier just yet, and he should be looking at maybe getting even a symbol of rage or something of equivalent for himself. I do believe that maybe even getting, I wouldn't say Frostful Skull is viable in a sense, because there is just too much well, damage coming from Team Legion. There's no way he could have survived even with the extra cold, and he doesn't need that cold effect to try and chase down people, so that's fine. But maybe getting something devastating for extra damage would be pretty preferred now in CD's point of view. But that being said, they also have got Hag. Don't forget about Hag. He does have the Grimoire power since a really long time ago, plus the fact he does now also have got the Kuldra Shipstick. So Wretched Hag plus Scout, both of them are going to be fighting against the CD in the ideal situation, and that's perfect in a sense. But they have got the extra lockdown, whereas for Team Hellborn, they've got almost close to 0 lockdown. If you look into Legion's item build, you can see clearly there's 3 Shrunken Head, and there is nothing on Team Hellborn that could possibly lock down people with Shrunken Head. So, I mean, in this kind of situation, definitely the advantage is going to slowly lean towards MRR.
Wow, just look at the damage being placed onto Corrupted Disciple from that one ultimate there from Scout. It's I don't know, like.
Oh god, he's gonna challenge the Moonra.
Nah, he should be fine. Corrupted Disciple definitely needs to pick up on lifesteal of his own, and even a Rift Shards if he really wants to take the team fight against his team. Like, I mean, like, he just needs something to really kill them quickly. And he definitely needs that, what they call this, the Symbol of Rage, because Kraken already just picked up the Barbed Armor, so he's gonna do a lot of work against the Corrupted Disciple should Corrupted decide to go against him, so it's gonna be very difficult.
Yep, it is, and CD, like I mentioned before, there's no other attack modifier that you could possibly opt for. Definitely not the slow effect. Shieldbreaker is completely out of the question at this late in this game. He should be looking at something that would help him survive a little bit more, maybe even a Symbol of Rage. But that being said, Team Legion. Wow, look at that. Even the Kuldra Shipstick, like you nicely pointed out, is completely on Color X. And they are just waiting for the perfect moment, and I don't know when that is. Maybe when the Durants really do drop, they will put forth the push here. But 46 minutes in, having almost 25,000, 26,000 gold advantage. They are still not satisfied, they're still farming. They can farm until the cow come home, but this game is going to have to end sometime. Kong, yeah, they are definitely gonna go for Kong right now, and because of the absurd ward sense that Scout has, it seems like the map is pretty black for Team Hellborn right now.
Oh,
but there we go. Whoa, it's pretty big. Luna is gonna be caught in the cold here, and Keeper falls in from behind. But look at the double damage Scout. It's a double damage Scout. The damage is just insane. 500 base damage there. Meanwhile, behind CD, he is just lost there, walking around behind those trees. He is gonna be caught out there by a Kuldra Shipstick. Bat Blast still wasted, but it is not gonna be even needed. And there we go. Urmura is gonna go down, but he does come back a second time. It's not like he is gonna be really effective in the second life, but he is also gonna go down quickly. Looking for a little bit of a clutch escape, but Heck still stops the escape. It's gonna be done, and Annihilation is possibly almost caught out there, but they do have got Softer, the one man standing. Can he save his base? Can he save his home? We don't know about that, but
nah, he's gonna die.
He does have, interesting enough, a Shrunken Head that he doesn't decide to use. A Kuldra Shipstick gonna be used against him, and the second one gonna be used on Susanna, but CD does buy back. And that being said, trying to save the base is Team bRix right now, but they do have the top lane Scout as well as Kraken, both of them trying to knock on as much damage as possible. Here comes Softer knocking onto the Scout. The insignificant amount of damage being dealt there. Bubble's trying to run away also. MOA is not going to be devastating enough to call for a little bit of a retreat moment. But that's it. That's gonna be the top lane as well as mid lane rexed out. Mid lane still has good range barracks still. And here comes the keeper to try and seal the deal on this range barracks. But no, we do have CD still floating around behind enemy lines. Oh, sorry, that's his base, by the way. We do have got a scout trying to float behind enemy lines. Yes, that's correct. And that's it. It's escalating to about 33,000 gold advantage, and pretty much MR will seal this game if bRix doesn't milk on this next big misplay or something of that sort.
Yeah, they're gonna take a team fight again here.
Oh, silence on the engineer. Engineer is gonna be food there. Here comes the keeper. What an irritating closure shift stick he does have also. That restoration stone, a nicely popped also. It's gonna be nicely sealing the deal on the CD there. Hack goes in for extra push on mid lane. The rest just splits down to the bottom lane. And that is it. Izuzana doesn't have a second buyback. Oh wait, he does. He does have got 4k gold, but that's the last buyback he does possibly have. CD appears for the last time. He doesn't even use the shrunken just there, waiting for the root, but the keeper goes down first. Kraken looking to fall down quickly, but he does also have got Bob Armor. Bob Armor dealing a lot of damage there, and the pulse is just so clutch.
I think they wanted to be a concede board. I think it was just wrong.
Yeah, but that's fine. So calling for a resume without asking permission, but it's okay. It's understandable. It could be a mistake there, but I'm hoping for the CC to be caught up really quickly so we can see that. But meanwhile, CD going in again, now being caught up by the keeper. Keeper who hacks him is actually gonna run away. Just see how effective it is. Keeper with closure shift. Scout's gonna nicely milk on the melee barracks. Range barracks gonna be called out there by the mid lane, and that's gonna be wrecked attack. They will be mega, that's correct. Bubbles meanwhile take a really interesting flight there, but even root is gonna be used here, and someone will not get a kill on Bubbles. Well, but still the ship stick is gonna nail that one there. And that's good, and yep, MOA is gonna be finally avenged against that DQ, and CC being called out. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, game 2 is done, and neolution.MRR will win this entire series here. So that's it, that's basically it.
Yeah, I mean, bRix, this game they actually looked a little bit better. They tried their best to really win that game, but I think again it just comes back to the point that the supporting cast members, they didn't have much of items to really get back into it. Like Legion Team MR, that is, they got everything that they really wanted. They had a barb armor on the Kraken on top of like Shrunken Head, and he was even gonna get Behemoth's Heart as well. He had the Demonic Breastplate. He had Scott who was hitting for like 700 crits, and when he had the double damage, he was like hitting for like 1k, which was just so insane. Like every 4 attacks in, he would be able to get off like a 1k crit. So it's just damn crazy coming out from the Legion team. And Luna even himself had the push book on top of what do you call it, the Ghost Scepter, and then the Void Talisman. And yeah, I mean, Culture Sheepstick, Restoration Stone on the Keeper of the Forest, just too strong, man. Just too strong.
Yeah, very strong. And bRix, they have their moment of opportunity open for them, but somehow MR was just waiting, because it's more like MR playing a smart game, not trying to end this desperately, but playing it out, waiting for something big to happen, waiting for the cow to come back, waiting for mistakes, maybe even waiting for the very important Cordra shipstick that eventually completed on the keeper. But that's it, we're just looking at this game here, and this entire series has been really fantastic. MR bagging both for sure. bRix, they played very well in the last game, but not so well in the first game. And I hope that all the best to them, both bRix as well as MRR. So now's the time for shoutout. Lark, you go ahead first.
Yeah, just shout out to all the people in chat watching, as well as the players themselves. Shout out to Impunity Earth for finally reaching G League, in case many of you don't know. Big shout out to the whole entire EGTV crew, and big shout out to Fantasy and Mishka as well.
Yep, so no. Fantastic, now it's my turn. Huge shout out to the entire EGTV crew, to the old fans and all the supporters for Epic Gaming Television, and thank you guys for watching. We do have a really interesting situation because this is the first night of the Cycle 3, and Cycle 3 is not like the first 2 Cycle where we actually pick games pretty easily. We are facing a situation where we don't even know what to cast. All the matches seem pretty awesome. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoy the match we select, and also you can definitely follow us. The casting schedule is up on the screen right now, so you know as to when the matches are. Just in case you're wondering, 23rd October there is no game because it's a public holiday somewhere in Southeast Asia. I can't pinpoint, but I do believe it's in Thailand. But that's it. Yep, the rest of these matches are going to be pretty awesome. Right now, a parallel match is happening on Epic Gaming Television stream. It is ISE against Impunity. It's a debut match in the G League Cycle 3. And I hope you guys will be able to just hop by there to catch that match. Abstract Solo Casting, show as much support for him as you have shown for us. That's it. Huge shout out to Fantasy again on stream, as well as Miss Shees. Thank you for popping by. And that's it. Really, all the best to you guys and have a really good night. And I hope you guys enjoy our cast. This is Babael, with me is Lark, and you just watched HoNTourSEA Southeast Asia G-League Cycle 3 Round 1. We'll be back tomorrow with the match between Total Masters and MRR. That's it. Have a really great night and see ya.
See ya.